Wassail, beautiful people. So, I've just been doing your reading and there were so many energies coming in that were not part of the frequency, and I just was suddenly aware that nothing that was coming through was true or relevant. It was covered in the most beautiful synchronistic magic, but it was like squeezing blood from a stone. So, and it started with the very first card, and I even said, I'm not feeling this at all, but I'm not going to stop the video, I'm going to carry on. And I carried on for about half an hour or more, and then I was just aware there was nothing there, not even a flicker. I was ringing messages from the cards and it just lacked any beauty. And now that I think about it, it didn't ring the bells at the beginning. There's been, I don't know how you found your full moon, but my full moon in the void was absolutely beautiful. Energies flowed, things unblocked, even roads that have been blocked since I've been here were cleared. It was like walking into a new town. And then in the evening, somebody completely savaged me with their full Mars fury, and it was hurtful. It really hurt, and I had to kind of cleanse my energies. I had to clean my energies. I had to let go of that and see that the problem was them attacking me for something they should have looked at within themselves. But nonetheless, receiving that energy was sharp and uncomfortable. And, you know, I'll be honest, it messed up the beauty that my day had had until that point. So, let's do this reading again, but this time let's have the bells. I just went into town and got so completely drenched. Everyone else was hiding under shelters, and I was just like, no, I'm walking through this. I went to get I had my phone died, and so I thought I was going to have to buy a new phone, but in Mexico they don't like to waste things, so you can actually have your battery changed even on an iPhone. So I did that, and then I found another phone that I'd had that the battery died on, that I just seemed to carry in my suitcase, and I thought I'd get that fixed, so got a spare phone if necessary now. So what a beautiful thing that is. Let's have these bells. Each bell grew. The second bell had an energy of opening a doorway, and the last bell had a kind of sense that someone else was trying to close the door, so you kicked it open. That's quite interesting, because that's very much that energy last night where someone tries to close down your joy. Don't let anyone close down your joy. Know your own joy. So, there's a lot of zeros, ones and twos flying around at the moment, and I keep seeing them everywhere. So yesterday the full moon was the 20th of the 10th, 2021. Today's the 21st of the 10th, 2021. Tomorrow's the 22nd of the 10th, 2021. So I keep seeing the number everywhere, not just on dates, clocks, walking up the road, it'll always be, I'll look at house number 22. So, I have no idea what this reading is going to be about. I had no idea last time I started it. Only last time it didn't seem to be about anything. So, let's just give it a go. I'm trying to start with a different deck of cards. And I wonder whether that's why it all went a bit skewy. But you know what? I'm going to have another go with these cards. Going to keep shuffling and rifling them. You see, look, that's interesting. 2012. It's ones and twos again. That's what I mean about the last reading. Everything was there synchronistically. It was beautiful. But it lacked a message. Maybe there is no message. What I would like there to be a message about is something funny. I feel like we all need a really good laugh. Because, I have to say that today's been about divine detours. Oh, yeah, you see, look, divine detours. That's a 12 there on the bottom of the deck. I was trying not to use these today. Divine detours. I've been on a series of divine detours today. I was going to do the reading very early on, and then I thought, you know what, let's have one more go at trying to find a tarot shop. So I looked up another tarot shop, because I've done 2 or 3 already, and they're not there. They don't exist. And there's not even a clue that they were ever there. It's all that shifting stuff that's going on in the town. So I thought, yeah, I'll go and I'll pick up my phone, which wasn't ready, and then I'll go to the tarot shop, and it was really, really wet. And I thought, no, I'm going through the rain to the tarot shop. It wasn't there, and there is no point in finding a divine detour and being cross or annoyed about it. It's that spiritual cul-de-sac, it's a quest I have. Since arriving in Mexico, there's all this promise. When I first looked, I was like, oh, look, they have their own kind of tarot deck thing. I've not been able to find a single tarot shop anywhere, apart from when I walked miles and miles and miles to get the Motherpeace deck. So, there's something about this endless quest for tarot that doesn't come to anything, and it's not as if by going on that journey I discovered something else that was of value or use. It was just a detour. So I need some water. Where did I put my water? Oh, up there. Hang on. Stretch. Oh, water greedy that was. Let's, I also need to find a map. You see, that I need to explain why that came into my head. I don't know. When the man comes around selling the veg, avocados, the Spanish word seems to be aguacarta, which to me sounds like the water map, cenotes and water sorcery. And I really have no idea where to go next from here. I've got no idea. And I was thinking I need to get a map of Mexico, and there's books there. Maybe they might have a map, an atlas. I need to get my pendant out on the map and help me to decide that way. So, beautiful spirit. I need to giggle. Can we have some messages, please? Can we have some messages, please? I was just going to say I didn't do the bells, but I did. It's because I caught a glimpse of Triton on my shirt, and I was thinking Neptune. Have I done the bells? So, right, so I've got 6 cards, and I've got 2 that are stuck, and they're staring at me. One is the Knight of Discs, which is the King of Discs, which is to be in your own frequency, resonating fully, shielded, protected, but protected by your own light, not by somebody else's, the light within, and it's coming with the Magus, who is the light within. So somehow it's referring to that. It's referring to there being at the moment a frequency slightly of being under attack by the energies as they shift, by other people's frustrations. I think it's referring again to the Eris, Mars, Moon energy, because we're still in that. For 3 days, we're in that frequency. And, my message the other day was to not attack another, so to curb your own tongue. And yet, I curbed my own tongue very well. And yet I was assuaged and assaulted by somebody else's. So there's something about the need to stay in the frequency of truth, of calm. I guess there's something of like a divine Mars. So I always talk about Gaia, Uranus, because to me, there's no real gendering to planets. They have both energies. They're of no gender. They have their own completeness in their frequencies. And it's exactly the same for Saturn and Ops, because Saturn's frequency on the top of Saturn, the hexagon tornado that we talk about, has risen. It's grown to be twice as tall as it was, and it's changed from blue to gold. So it's telling us that frequencies change. And so there's something about the energy of everything coming through cycles, but that doesn't mean that there's a sort of Gaia and Uranus and that they just kind of turn, and at one point one energy's at the top. It's not that simple. It's like one energy's up here and the other one kind of grows. It's as if they pass by each other and come back down. So there's points when it's more one-sided than the other, and then there are points where it's completely divine. So there's something about the energies of Mars and Eris, and I know that they're two separate places, but there's something about them almost being in cycles where at points they come together and at points they move away from each other. But it's almost like I want to kind of call a divine Mars, which Mars will become more divine next year when it moves into the stellium frequency in Aquarius in I think it's around the 5th of April, which is in Aries season when it's at home, but it won't actually be at home, it will be in Aquarius. But there's something about it being more like siblings that have fallen out and they have a bit of a reunion, and it calms that energy down. But at the moment it still feels like that energy is out there being very raw, and somehow we need to not call in protection. We don't want to be calling in protection from other energies. We've got to learn to stand on our own 2 feet. We've got to stop needing the protections of angels and all kinds of crystals and things like that, and trust that we ourselves, by our thought processes, can protect ourselves, that we can melt, dissolve toxicity. So there's this 7 of Cups here, and it's Venus in Scorpio. It's kind of like shining a light. I know this is Earth, but I'm being shown an energy of the water phoenix, this energy of being in your own emotional comfort zone. That means if someone brings a confused psychic energy towards you, the fact that you're manifesting your own emotional truths will dissolve this frequency without the need for some kind of outside protection, because the outside protection doesn't allow you to grow. By finding this energy within yourself to protect yourself, to not be victim, because part of the energy attack that was put on me last evening was somebody trying to give me guilt, trying to make me feel less, trying to make me feel as though I had bullied them when I hadn't. So there's something about that frequency, because then the other card showing face upright is the Prince of Swords, and this is that energy of, it's attacking someone in the psychic world, in the physical world. There's something, this is Enlil. And Enlil, he breaks open the space between heaven and the earth to make space for mankind. But he's only making space if mankind does what he desires. So this is about trying to manipulate. This is like dark Adam, Mars, dark Mars, that toxic kind of energy that exists. There's dark Eve as well, but the reason I'm talking here about Mars frequency is because it's all being shown at the moment as male energies. And really we're meant to be in a divine frequency in the earth, rather than feeling this kind of battling against everything in the earth. You've got to dissolve that sense that life is a continuous struggle. If you believe that, that's what will manifest. And we've got Magus energy here manifesting. What's interesting is I feel that the anger that rises comes from the desire for material possessions that you don't have. And actually it's melting your emotional stability. This desire to manifest, in that, I'm always a bit funny about this, but in that old school earth magic, selfish frequency where you try and manifest your new Porsche or whatever it is you want, it's wrong, and it's causing discomfort, not just in you, but in projections that we're putting onto others. So, 10 of Swords. This is a completion of cycle. And there's something about this. I'm seeing like an opening. I've got the Sun and Libra. And then I've got the Moon and a doorway. But the doorway, even though square at the bottom, is making me think of Taurus. And today, something 22:27 GMT, so 10:27 this evening, the Moon will conjunct Uranus, Gaia. And there's something new cutting through the Earth. Oh, a new Earth. So there's 8 swords in this card. I often say that, and if you look very closely, just here, there are 2 new swords, peaceful swords, because the 2 of Swords is about peace, cutting through. There's 3 swords that are tipped at the top of a heart, reminding us of that 3 of Swords energy of heartache. It's kind of saying that the heartaches that we feel are self-manifested through selfishness and through a desire to manipulate others to your frequency. If you can go into divine Adam energy, you just shine your frequency, you shine your truth. 2. And this is 10 and 1. That's my number of manifestation. 110. I said this was all about 110s. We've got another 1 here. This is 12. This has got a 1, but this is 14. What's the gross total on this then? 12, 19, 20, 35, 8 change. 8, 9, it's 10. The whole overall number of this is a completion and a new beginning. A completion and a new beginning. Holding that the wrong way around now. A completion and a new beginning. So 10 is offering us that breakthrough frequency. Ophium Tamela. The shedding of the skin creates something new. And in this card we have 1666. And we have a whole series of... There's a sort of a sense of earth peacock, of... You see, I almost want to say, you know, I've never seen this energy before, but we've been dealing with that notion of a water phoenix. I'm getting that sense of this being like a plant, a flora phoenix, but an earth phoenix. It's not a fiery phoenix. It's not about the fires. It's not about that. It's about unfolding layers of new growth, but in the physical world. I just need to count something else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 segments. There's something about this. It's very odd. They're showing me feathered pineapples. So these, they're turning these into pineapples, and they're saying to me pineapples are anti-inflammatory. Again, it's about quelling the fires, quelling the angers, quelling those uncontrollable moments. It's very important to keep a lid on things. There's something about the way in which we approach another. It's almost like at the moment, if you bring this fiery fury to somebody, it's almost like it will singe you quicker than you've ever imagined. So just try and be calm. So, what else would you like to say? Is there anything else from these? I feel like I've got a space for 2 cards here. What's the energy as we move forwards then? What's this earth phoenix, this foliage phoenix? It's like a kind of, it's made from trees and plants. What's this phoenix of the foliage? What's this phoenix of the foliage? So, interesting. So, we've got Mars in Leo, which is about the ego, and there's something about breaking down in the background the fires of the normal phoenix. It's analysing what is fixed within your ego that needs to be melted away. Again, I'm getting a lot of Eris. It's like you've got to analyse, because it's the neck bet. Is that right? Let me just check, people. Neck bet. I've got neck bet. Neck bet is the winged warbird that's on the pharaoh's crown. I'm getting a notion of Blue Lotus, and it's linked into that yellow, the yellow angel trumpet flower that's in the garden, that's from the Deadly Nightshade family and is highly toxic. It's talking about how it's almost like the energy of our molecules is the Mars Earth anger frequency, that fiery energy that creates heartache for no one but ourselves because it rebounds on ourselves. Stomach ulcers, that kind of peptic discomfort. And then the eris is the consciousness, and the idea behind, I don't know with the Blue Lotus, but I think they're showing me that so that I would make the connection out there. The plant that's out there is highly toxic and highly hallucinogenic, and it's a night scented flower. It's like it's asking you to look into the beauty of the darkness at your shadow so that you can see what's inside you at those points. And the plant disengages your consciousness from your body, so it's like a separation between your Mars and your Eris. One is that earth anger, one is that divine fury, and somehow in that space between you will find a new understanding, you will birth a new, this earth phoenix, but this earth phoenix is deeply emotional because we've got now the Knight of Cups. So we started with the Knight of Pentacles in the earth and we're followed by the Knight of Cups. It's like one is divine Mars and the other is divine Eris frequency. Imbalance working together, not separate. Just put them back in the wrong places then. So what do we have here? We have this white Pegasus. Oh, Ghost of a Peacock is in this card. You always forget Ghost of a Peacock. It is peacock frequency. It is about declaring a newness. Ghost of a Peacock, there's something about releasing pride. And we have at the top of this card, we have Cancer that's being held aloft in the cup, that's almost the sense of controlled emotions. You see, controlling your emotions stops you being furious. And we, through tarot, often separate the fires, the Mars, the fury, from the energies of the fact that anger is an emotion. And there's something about the figure wearing green, very green man, very new earth frequency. Again, the anger of the green man. It's like an anger at the natural world, and yet the anger at everything is with ourselves internally because we can't make the changes. It's almost like they're drawing me to this, which is really weird. They're drawing me to the bound feet and the wings being down here at the base, and how we need to bring our energies up. So there's something about the not grounding, breath, scent. Interesting. I bought some Palo Santo and I've got a little tiny candle with water, and I'm just going to put another couple of drops on. Ooh, you see, do you know what I love about this? This is such a beautiful oil that just one drop on my hand, this feels like the natural world working as a kind of protector. And I like to I love it in my beard. It's an energy of breath, of scent, of drawing your frequency right down into the base of your feet. Breathing through the soles of your feet is what I'm hearing. Breathing freely. Walking freely in the world. Because the feet are bound, you can't go anywhere. And in this card, it's clearly in the real world. But there's something about staticness, fear in the world. I'm getting this energy frequency of the bowed horse. The horse's head is bowed in this. The horse is a symbol of freedom, and your ego is sitting on the horse blocking your own freedom. In this one, you're beginning to grow your wings in the right place, to have an understanding of what the fullness of emotions are, so that you can actually take flight into the world. So there's something about these two being consciousness and physicality, yin and yang, imbalance, marking bookends of this journey. And the card ends with this series of cards ends with abundance, which is the frequency over which everything, and again we're going back to Cancer. So for me, Cancer is the sacred home. It's not just that traditional sense of families. It's your celestial city, your sacred frequency where you're most comfortable, and bringing that into an energy of abundance. There's something about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 golden chrysanthemums showering you with an abundance of emotions. There's 3 cups, goblets that feel very much like cranberry glass. So there's something about detoxing your bladder. Drink more water, drink more water. There's something about a build-up of uric acid in the body, and a need to deep breathe, to cleanse. It's interesting because here the air is much thinner because I'm up so high up this mountain. So when you breathe at night, it wakes you often because your body isn't quite getting the depth of oxygen to sleep. And when you do a lot of exercise, you can get that kind of cramping uric acid. I think it's uric acid. 30 years ago since I did that kind of subject. I think I actually used to know the formula for the uric acid within the bloodstream. Anyway, that's what they're giving me. They're giving me this sense that the bloodstream needs to increase. We need to do exercises to increase the amount of oxygen that we're bringing into our body. Very deep body breathing, pulling all of the stomach and back muscles right down to the pelvis out to expand. So breathing in by expanding your stomach, your lower back, not really focusing on this at all. This is secondary to breathing. Do your breathing if you can just through your stomach. So you can actually see when I first went to breathe in, that drops down. And then you can bring that back up at the end, but you mustn't pull your stomach in and then... And somehow that's going to clear, not necessarily uric acid, because you'd feel that, but there's something about it almost spring cleaning your veins, bringing new energy to the whole of the body. Okay, so let's go into the runes. So I was looking at the cards as 4 cards because of the way I've laid it out. It was completely unintentional. But these are the 4 on one side. And they've got newer. So this is a new bud, a new emotion. What I'm being reminded of is the emotional bleed, leche. It's like when all of that toxicity has been expelled through breath, through breathing, you will feel renewed. There's something energetically renewing about breathing. You've got to do deep breathing exercises. You've got to breathe deeply at night before bed. Lie down on the bed, place heavy books on your stomach and push the books into the air and down. Don't move your chest at all before sleep. Just try and breathe purely through the stomach, and that will pull the diaphragm down every time the stomach goes out because it's a vacuum, and that will draw more air in. It's almost, it's weird because I like this shirt, but they're saying to me, down at the base of your lungs, because you're not breathing fully enough, there's this kind of toxic fluid. It's not a toxic fluid. It's just mucus. It's one of the like black bile. It's a kind of deep set melancholy that needs to be breathed out, that needs to be removed. That's too many cards. 7. I just want one to go with this set. So, to go with this set, this toxic battering, this dark Adam frequency, this transforming of the fixed irritants within the ego is what I'm sensing. Goodness only knows what I'm going to call this reading. Oh, bending the cards. We've actually got 2. Higher definition of life. It's hell. It looks like an N. Death and rebirth, transformation, and Earthmasian. But because this is an H, it's doing this HD, this notion of higher definition. You need to move your whole physical body into a higher definition, and it's done through the energy of air. It's beginning a new seed. So I'm getting ur, I'm getting os, oak, support. So I need to explain that. So here I'm seeing ur, freedom, and that's this energy between sitting on your horse that needs freedom because your ego is too heavy, to take in flight and being at one, becoming Pegasus. So I'm seeing Ur, the freedom. I'm also seeing this energy of Uk, oak, support, personal Yggdrasil tree. I'm also seeing like an unwritten banner and a chance to rewrite the freedoms of the future. What else am I seeing? I'm seeing bud. So this is here. It's like within yourself, there are the seeds within the sacral that can bring around any new frequency that you want. That flow into the Earth Masion to become, I mean, the green man, really, to become the Earth Masion, to connect with the spirit of the natural world, to be a wizard. That's what an Earth Masion is. So let's put some Odin down. It's Yggdrasil. If you can grow your Yggdrasil, if you can make your oak tree, your ash tree, your elder tree, whatever it is that you need, your own personal current tree, I'm going to suggest that if you haven't seen my reading that I did of trees, it might be worth digging into that and looking. Just pick a number between 1 and 12 and go with that number and find the tree that matches that number. I'll link that in. There's something about this frequency where the runes are being opened out as if there's many pathways to grow your own personal Yggdrasil tree. But it will be with you. It's like this is your Earth Masion. Behind your earthly wizard that lives in this world, your consciousness attaches in fully to your body in this frequency of this. I mean, the Earth Masion is really what that frequency of the Earth Phoenix is. To be a wise old owl in the real world. It's Merlin energy in many ways. So any other messages about this Yggdrasil, this Earth Masion coming into, you see, yeah. This is above. It's not grounded. Its feet are tied. It can't walk. And it's just above this card. You can't be your Earth Masion until you ground yourself. And how do you ground yourself? By breathing through the soles of your feet. So it's not just about taking your shoes and socks off and standing in damp grass. This is about every step is a breath. Anything else about the Earth Masion, please? Anything else about the Earth Masion? Anything else about the Earth Masion? Now we've got a bursting moment. So it began with Ehwaz. And this is horse. You've got to plant your horse, your freedom, into the earth with all the steps. Now is the season to plant your freedom into the earth. And then we had Idun. This is, I've never seen it as this before, but this is the breath that cleanses the blood cells somehow. Breathing, walking will cleanse your blood cells. And then we have Kaun, divine spark, the energy of moving forwards, master of ceremonies, son of health. You have the control, because this is usually biome and health, but there's something coming across this at the moment that's the breath will cleanse the blood. I don't know how. But it's back to that subject of the uric acid. So it's something about, it's something about bringing your temperature into balance. There's the fireworks. Fireworks, divine spark, you ignite something. But that's what I'm seeing there. Seeing about a normalizing or a calming of like heat in the body. Look, I went to Merida, I was red hot. I've come here, that heat has calmed down. But even in Merida, because in Mexico you have to have your temperature taken before you go in any shops, I was consistently a degree below normal, even though I was so hot. And I think that's because I breathe so deeply from years of playing oboe and singing. And so I think were I not able to deep breathe and was shallow breathing, I think then it would have made me feel more on fire, more feverish somehow. So there's something about breath calming the fires within that block your freedom to be somehow. So let's just put a little Motherpeace on. I'm supposed to go out in that pouring rain to go and get my phone, but I think I'm just going to have to leave it there till tomorrow. I mean, I've got my other phone, it's just a spare. There's one. So what else would you like to say, please? It's really interesting. This card came out 4th or 5th, but it was very sure that it wanted to land on the first card. So there's 2 cards. It's 12, again that's this 1-2 energy, and the 9 of Cups in reverse. And when I saw the 9 of Cups, it was like, it was saying, what are all the crazy things you do to cool down, like getting in cold water, taking cold showers, jumping in ice baths, all of that kind of thing. And they're just saying that the only thing that's needed is breath. Just breath. It really is this energy of Odin hanging from his Yggdrasil tree, hanging from, he believed, the Yggdrasil tree. I'm being told he was just hanging from his own personal Yggdrasil tree, and that's a mark of his own ignorance, thinking he knew the answers to everything, but didn't. And then we have these 2. So we have the Daughter of Swords, and this is that process of editing your ego again. So not sitting tough on your ego, and there's something about Uriah Heep in this card. Oh, I'm ever so humble, but really it's Dark Adam. Just trying to control everything. Because look, he's being ever so humble, and he's showing you that lovely shield of all his ever so humble light. And yet in his hand, he's got a really nasty, vicious club that he'll strike you with if you don't do what he says. So this is about editing that aspect of your personality, and this is that. Oh, got a card stuck on my elbow. This is that preparation to soar as a Pegasus, but to become Pegasus. to become one with the earth and consciousness to soar. And it's telling you that this is very Eris. She's taking a whirlwind of divine fury and passing it through the galactic center of the universe and weaving it into the rock of the earth somehow, and creating the freedom of spirit that she may soar as a Pegasus. And it comes with Priestess of Wands, and the Priestess of Wands, she's at one with her animal spirit. We're being told it's not saying that your animal spirit has to be a horse. You don't have to be a flying Pegasus, but you have to be at one with freedom, and the freedom comes through taming the beast. That's what they're saying. Through taming your own ego. And I don't mean just suddenly become wet, but just taming your ego. There's a tiny red lizard that's a transformation. There's a rainbow going up to fire, passing through the cloud of unknowing. And then there's a sort of a cooking pot. So it's like it never leaves. The Mars-Eris relationship never leaves. It's always continually joined between the cup of emotion and the cup of fire energy. They're both there of the beast. But being able to quell your own fury by being more divine with it. There's the only point to rage is if it will bring about some divine countenance, some divine moment of change, but it's not an anger that comes to belittle, shame, or victimize somebody else. That's the wrong kind of anger. So cooling off. And then here, we ended with this one the other day. It's a really beautiful card. It's the Two of Cups. It's the cup of love. And it's a pair of mer creatures at the bottom of the sea. There's something about this that's lunar eclipsey. So it's deep at the bottom of the ocean bed. There's something about sharing love. They're almost having their hands tied in a form of marriage. I'm going to ask a bit more about that card because it really feels a bit left to centre, that card. I feel a little bit like it's got something to do... Did I already talk about that? So today, I don't know whether I've talked about it because when I did that earlier reading, it did come up, but I'm being prompted to mention it again. The moon will go conjunct with Gaia, Uranus, at 22:27 GMT. And that's at 13 degrees. So while we're dealing with all of this 0, 1s and 2s and this static, stuck energy, and this is a 2 again, there's this moment that will fleet by that's got something to do with like a divine inspiration, I guess. So let's have a quick look. That just came straight out for Uranus. It's Odin. It's like this is that energy. It's being stuck in your own personal ego sill tree. That's what I'm getting. He's got this fixed notion of what is his wisdom, and it's blocking the growth of his personal Yggdrasil tree. So, I'm just going to put that one up with those. Gaia Uranus card, please. Gaia Uranus card. Gaia Uranus card. Gaia Uranus card. Okay, so Lloyd. This is a watery womb. The cosmic Akashic records. It feels like at this conjunction, some kind of, like a flood will come down today. It's interesting that it's raining so hard today and I've had no rain. But I'm seeing like a waterfall of cosmic Akashic correction. So the moon, I wouldn't be surprised to see Issa. The moon, oh, you see now that's interesting. So look, we've got the vulva. This is a divine cosmic magical moment when the moon passes in front of Gaia, Uranus. The reason I was thinking I was going to see Issa, ice, which is just a single stroke of being alive, is because they were showing me this and showing me how we have here this, which matches this, and then she's bringing her pole as the next part to bring us to that new bud. This is a new love bud that is opening. But we need information on that. So let's go to the root. No, let's just go to Odin again. What's this new bud that's appearing, this love bud? What's this love bud that's appearing? They've both got their eyes shut. It's like your eyes will be opened, perhaps. What's this love bud? This represents the moon always to me, but because it's Tyr, it's about a redefining, and we've got Odin's heaven, which is very much static, bordered, restricted, closed-in energy. And it's like I'm going back to that energy of freedom. It's an energy of freedom coming. The hell, the death and rebirth energy, the the wild oxen, the chance to... It's like... I feel like it's Fenrir acting as this beast. It's the chance from 22:27 this evening, breath exercises, conscious, disconnect from your surroundings, settle down, do a meditation of deep breathing. You've got to do as much deep breathing as you can possibly at the moment and focus on whatever you wish to be your animal spirit, you know, and connect with that spirit and show that spirit become that spirit. Run like a horse, hunt like a lion. Just understand the attributes of your spirit and you will cleanse the blood somehow. You'll be cleaning through, spring cleaning your veins, because it's like no one's been in to that Asgard palace for so long. It's a dusty old castle. It's a bit like Sleeping Beauty. It's covered in briars. the briars of the future. You can't reach forwards until you wake up to this energy of love. This new love bud is for you and your animal spirit. By loving your animal spirit and breathing deeply on a meditation with your animal spirit, you bring self-love to your sacral. We've got ing, being hidden. It's like that's the thing you've got to work on, your water meadow. This separation between you and spirit is brought together into the Ginunga gap, into this space of potential, limitless potential, through the sacral, through self-love, through breath, to cleanse and strengthen your entire bloodstream. The water phoenix is the flow of air in your breath being transformed into the fire of blood. So there's a living water phoenix frequency running through your entire body. Wow! That was a hard one to get to, but that's the key. It's the water phoenix is the energy that moves through your blood. Okay, let's just end with a couple of Motherpeace. Now that we've got... Actually, no, I feel like I want some runes on that. Oh, look, I've been talking too long. I still haven't replied to the comments yet. But I needed a day off yesterday for that full moon. But I will, I'll get on to them comments. So, this water phoenix of the blood took a long time to get there, and it's driven by your animal spirit, by the connection to self-love. So we've got Hod and Wakand. It's Hod is unseeing. Unseeing. There's something in here that you can't see, even though it's inside you. You can't see it. You're not connected to it. What is it? It's your animal guide. It's Wakand. It's the watcher. It watches everything you do, but it wants you to watch through its eyes. It wants you to run with it. And then you have Perth. Oh, and you. It's so gorgeous. It's 13 and 14. It's freedom from spirit, freedom gifted by spirit, not from spirit. So it's the you, the sacral, this energy of the water meadow, run through your water meadow as your animal spirit, and you will understand the self-love that will cleanse your blood. The blood will be cleansed by the water phoenix. The water phoenix is not... If you want it to be your animal, let it be your animal. But the sense is, it's almost like running wild. Your watcher animal spirit will find your water phoenix, and it will help it to take off. And it's all done through breath. The surge of pear tree, the sweetness of the blood, the sacredness of blood, the healing that takes place within the blood, and the yew tree. There's so much similarity between you and the surge. There's so little movement that has to take place. But if you look, you're trying to get to this frequency. Look at the shape of it. It has the Easter line. It has this line that the vulva's bringing in. You literally need to turn this tiny energy inwards to bring balance and grounding to yourself. And then if you look at the animal spirit and take these two parts to the animal spirit, they are the overlay that will go on to here. So this downward energy, if combined with your animal spirit, this one turned around and brought in, you become free to surge. There's something about woodwind instruments, again, it's breath. And this is Empress energy. This is the energy of living. So I just want to end with the Motherpeace. Beautiful message cards, thank you so much. I sat there going, I'm not going to do loads of cards this time. There we go. Oh look, see? The woodwind instruments, the breath, the Son of Cups. It's just confirming the pear tree surge. He's playing like a little oboe. And there's gulls. And there's, look, this is like a purple version of the yellow angel trumpet. That couldn't be more beautiful. Saying that you need to do this kind of meditative separation to work through your ego and change things. Now, this card's going to fascinate me. It's the Eight of Discs. And last time I used this card, the energy of it was about Virgo not wanting to do what mother's arts and crafts shit. It's like, it's so beautiful. So you have a sense of the things your ego does in repetition, things of the past, the kneading of bread, the making of pottery, things in the past that were things that you always had to apply to do. But what it represents is it's the three norns sitting, and then you're weaving a new tapestry for your future. You're dealing with your towardness, and it's like, because you've connected fully to your energy, and because you've cleansed, you've dealt with the stagnant swelgeness of the past, the briars of the future have been cleared out. You've understood the link between Eris and Mars, and you're being given the chance to weave your future anew. And that's that energy that I often talk about. The tapestry, she won't see what she's weaving. It's just a dream until it's completed. And when it's completed, it's in the past. So the frequency is the now. You can only thread your life in the now, and you have to do that connected to your animal spirit somehow, because there's a connection to seeing the world through different eyes, through your watcher, through your guide, and chasing, searching, sniffing out almost the water phoenix that will cleanse your blood and bring you back to health. So, I really like that. Considering that first message was going nowhere, that was just beautiful. So, have a lovely, wonderful evening. I mean, I don't know what the time is now. Right now, it's 2 minutes to the conjunction. So, get breathing, people. Because I've got to upload it yet. You can do it for the next couple of days. It's all 2 1s and 0s. So you've got a couple of days to do some deep breathing and to cleanse your blood. Okay, wassail.